let's kind of go to that sportsbook side here, because we're going to look now at the Brooklyn angle of this, Maddie. They get Ben Simmons and some other really nice pieces. So Nets were plus 300 before the trade to win it all, and now have gone to plus 370. Still the favorite, which is kind of crazy, right? I think they've only won one game in their past 10 or something insane like that. But what do you think the biggest impact of this trade will be for Brooklyn?
This one is really hard to analyze, and part of the problem is we don't know what would have happened to the Nets if they didn't make the deal. So we're not really comparing apples to apples with the new team versus the old team. We don't know how much Kyrie Irving is going to play still. We don't know how much Ben Simmons is going to play still, but we don't know how much James Harden was going to play before either. There was clearly some turmoil there with the hamstring, but also some issues with Kevin Durant, with Kyrie Irving. There's some locker room stuff that we're starting to hear a little bit about now, but there's no way we have the full story there. So I don't know what kind of shape the Nets were in before this. I think they had to make a deal, most likely, because there was just so much happening. But assuming they get all the guys that they have now on the court, I don't think the Nets actually got that much worse. Like, I think Ben Simmons and Seth Curry as a package are close enough to James Harden that it's not going to change the quality of the team and the chances of winning the championship by too much. And it actually might fit better together because Durant and Kyrie can do most of the scoring now. Simmons is a much better defender. So my overall outlook on the Nets is actually kind of similar to what it was before. I think other teams moved up and the Nets kind of just stayed the same.
Yeah, Garion, how are they still the favorites right now?
It's a really, really strange kind of situation, because I would agree with what Matt was saying towards the end there, which is I actually really like this trade in a vacuum for the Nets. I think when you put together their like optimum 5-man lineup with Ben Simmons doing what, I mean, really he should have been doing his whole career if he had the chance. I mean, it's not like you often fall into a situation with two superstar scorers, but you know, to be that third wheel, to be that guy who can really just focus on defense and rebounding and assists, I mean, that's kind of his ideal situation. I like what this team could be a lot. I think at full strength, the Nets probably should be the favorites to win the NBA Finals. However, the fact that they're the favorites now, you can't bet them. I mean, it's just not a situation that you can partake in right now. And I think the play is to just wait, because right now we're in a spot where Kevin Durant does not have a timeline for his return. We don't know when Ben Simmons is going to even take the court, let alone be at full strength and get back into game conditioning. And the Nets' next 10 games are Miami, Sacramento, the Knicks, the Wizards, Boston, Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston. That's a really tough 10-game stretch. 5 of those games are at home, so Kyrie can't play in any of those 5. And one of the away games is in Toronto, and he can't play in that game either. So you could see a situation where the Nets have lost 10 games in a row. They could go into this next 10-game stretch where of their 3 superstars, only Kyrie will be able to suit up, and he'll only be able to suit up for 4 games. So I would maybe wait till like this stretch is over and they've gone, 2-8, and then kind of reassess what the odds are at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it even really a big 3 when you can't even play home games like at full strength? It doesn't seem like that.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah.
I think is the only way you can say it.